And welcome to our final Thursday night call-in show, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, the OHIO podcast is making a lineup change beginning next week. And Thursday nights, well, it's going to have a little bit of a softer touch. Well, it's going to have more of a lovely sounding touch. That's what I meant to say. That's right. The Buckeye ladies will be making their debut next Thursday night. TG, Mika will be starting their program on Thursday nights beginning at 8 o'clock Eastern next week. This show, the Thursday call-in show, that's getting moved to a Saturday morning call-in show, a college football preview day, if you will, with a call-in show beginning at 10 a.m. Chris will be heading that up most weeks. I will be taking over the Monday evening call-in show. And so that is the lineup change, everybody, that you need to know about. So next Thursday night, when you clock in at 8 o'clock expecting to see my ugly mug, you will be disappointed because TG and Mika will be here, and then you will be pleasantly happy that they're here and not me. But you can still call in Monday night to talk to me, and you can still call in Saturday morning to talk to Chris, to talk about the Buckeyes, talk about the day that will be in college football. We are the official Ohio State podcast, by the way, of Scarlet and Game. Head over to scarletgame.com. If you do not like the way my face looks, you can download our podcast over there or wherever you download podcasts. We are the official Ohio State podcast of The College Huddle, thecollegehuddle.com, where you can find ourselves and 85 other of our closest friends from coast to coast. And finally, guys, we have a new sponsor for this season, mybookie.com. That's right, mybookie.com is partnering up with the OHIO podcast. If you are not a member of mybookie.com, go over there right now. Don't wait, just go there right now, mybookie.com, sign up, use promo code OHIO, bet on, and you can get up to $500 fully covered on any bet with using the promo code OHIO. What's that mean? Well, you make your play, and if it doesn't hit, you get it right back when you opt in using Bet Back Bonus token, $500 worth. Imagine that, folks. Going out there and betting $500, missing, and just getting it right back, all because you signed up with mybookie.com using the promo code OHIO and for listening to the OHIO podcast. That's a pretty good deal, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you go check that out. As you can see here to my left, you're right on the screen, the OHIO podcast season 2 magazine, second edition is what I meant. Ohio State season preview magazine. It is in. You can go to our website, click on the magazine link at the top. Our website is theohiopodcast.com. Click on the website on top of the page, and you can get a digital copy for $19.95, or you can email me, theohiopodcast at gmail.com. Again, that's theohiopodcast at gmail.com. Email me. I will give you my Venmo, and you can Venmo me $30 with your mailing address, and I will send you a hard copy of the magazine. There are only a few left, guys, only a few remaining, and I'm pretty proud of the magazine. It's pretty good. I've got nothing but great feedback from everybody so far. Good to have everybody with us tonight in the chats. The phone lines are already full. That is right. There's no more phone lines. All 5 lines are taken. We have 5 phone lines. So if you call in and you get a busy signal, you'll have to wait until one of the callers is dropped, and then you can jump in. I will do my best to let you know how many lines are open and where you're at on the line. If you want to move up on the calling list, if you're afraid you are bottom on the calling list and you don't want to wait, just put a super chat in tonight with your area code and we will bump you up. That's right. I'm not against being bribed. That's how this game is played these days. Bribe me with a super chat and you can get on and talk with me first if you like. We're going to talk about Arch Manning versus Julian Sain tonight. I think this is a big time deal. Arch Manning, year number 3 in college. Julian Sain, year number 2. Coach Sark out there talking about how much he loved Julian Sain's game, when he recruited him, how much he loved him. Is that a little bit of a snake oil going on there? Is that a little bit of poison being thrown Julian Sain's way by one Coach Sark? Or do you think he's legitimately meaning that? And who do you think the better quarterback is going to be? Is it going to be Arch Manning? He's the one that everybody's hyping up. They're lifting him up, putting him on a pedestal, or do you think Julian Saint's going to be the better quarterback? Also, if you haven't heard, the SEC is moving to 9 conference games beginning next season. That's right, the Big 10 flexed their muscle, and guess what the SEC did? They bowed the knee again. If you don't think the Big 10 is the more powerful conference in college football, look no further than what just took place in the Deep South with the SEC saying, all right, we'll move to 9 conference games. By the way, I think that you're going to find out that once they do this, the Big 10 is just as good, if not even better, than the SEC. So, let's go to the phone lines. We won't waste any more time. It's going to be a fun night tonight. Try to keep your phone calls to about 10 minutes or less so we can move through these quickly tonight. We're going to start things off with the 937. Let's go out there and talk to Sean this evening. Sean, welcome to the OHIO podcast. What's on your mind tonight?
Hey, well, what's on my mind tonight? The first thing, Womack, he just committed to Auburn. So I'm just so fed up right now with our recruiting classes and our strategy as a team. It's driving me crazy. And then seeing the cope from a lot of guys out there, a lot of I guess there's a bunch of other shows out there that they just don't see the forest from the trees, and it's driving me insane.
Sean, there's
So that's
there's a
why
problem. There's a problem, Sean, and I don't know who's to blame. I'm hearing different people's names being thrown out there, Sean, on who's to blame for this. But we are not offering the NIL money to these recruits on the same level as everybody else, and it is catching up with us.
100%. And you bring up like 2021. Okay, we had like 4 guys in the top 10. All those guys were huge impact guys for us. We haven't had a class near like that in the last 3 or 4 years, and you need those type of classes. And I know like we're playing Ohio State is playing. We're gonna develop you and make you this great player and everything. Well, personally, JT and Jack Sawyer, in my humble opinion, were underutilized until after the Oregon game this season, the regular season Oregon game, when they finally let those guys loose. I feel like if they would have had that strategy going from their junior year on, those guys would have been top first and second round draft picks. So so to the people that say, well, we're going to develop you into the better player or this or that, I would say, well, Ohio State underdeveloped those guys. So I don't know. I just feel like you got to pay market prices. And then if you think paying a high school player is expensive, wait till they are actually good and they're actually good in college. Then you're going to be paying double, triple for that guy and just praying he doesn't get injured. So I'm just flabbergasted that we lose. We literally have how many DBs on this team? Because one of our safeties right now is really a linebacker. We have one safety and one defensive back, and we have 2 guys in Ohio ranked in the top 80 in the country, and we're not even sniffing those guys. Plus the guys we missed out on last year, like Brewster, who was at Ohio State lean and went to Northmont High School. Now he did transfer down to Texas, but he didn't even go to Texas. He went to Oregon, and And real quick, I just want to. Looking at the Womack pick, I'm not saying anything bad, but if Ohio State thinks these guys are that, everybody said that he was not an NIL guy. Well, he didn't even have hats out on his table. He had literal chains, like diamond chains, out on. He was going to pick from one of the chains. Like wait a second. He was definitely an NIL guy. Like this is insane. I
Oh
just
yeah.
what are we doing here as a staff? That's what I want to know. What are we doing here as a staff to
Yeah,
figure this out?
there's definitely a disconnect between and this all started. There is a definitive point in time when the recruiting took a left turn, and it was when Ross Bjork announced they were bringing NIL in house.
And I 100%, you can go on the message boards that I was on at the time. I told you this a couple weeks ago. I remember calling you in and saying I want that collective out of house because I want that as my right hand hook. Your $20 million is your jab. Your right hand hook is how you land the recruits. That's how you knock them to the ground. We can jab them all the way to be a top 5 for us, but we're not gonna be able. We don't have the power to knock them out and actually bag these guys. So and gosh, there's just so many directions I'd like to talk about this, but it's just so frustrating. But I'll be honest, like Ohio State, really the only year in the NIL era that they actually did something, in my opinion, to really say they were all in was last year. You look at 2022, 2023, all the top defensive linemen that we never got because we weren't willing to. I think Damon Wilson was just asking for 300,000. He was asking for like half the amount that Georgia was going to give him, and we wouldn't even pay him half the amount that Georgia was going to give him, and he wanted to be an Ohio State Buckeye. So it's just we've lost out on so many guys. Dylan Stewart's another guy. Could you imagine? So I think Dylan Stewart, he was asking for, I don't know, $700,000, $800,000. You know how much he would cost today? He'd be a $3 to $4 million player easily today, and that's not only after 1 year of college. I'm just scratching my head. I don't understand. You know, a top 100 recruit, you got to pay those guys like their first and second round draft picks in the NFL. Like that's how you got to think about it. And what's the market? The market for those guys is pretty good money. And sorry, Ohio State, you have 36 sports. You got to cut some of them. I went to Ohio State. I'm a 2011 alum. I met lots of the people that they had on teams. They had a fencing team. I'll be honest. Half the people on these teams aren't even from the United States. They're from like Finland. Why are we promoting that? We should get all in on football like the SEC, like Notre Dame. They only have like 18 sports. That's it. That's what we should do. We should do 18 sports, get rid of all the other sports. This is, let's actually put our mustard where it needs to go. You know what I mean? Like this is just, it's just driving me insane what we're doing. I can just see it crumbling. And the other thing is, I can see Ryan Day next year. If you want to keep him around, there's no way he's going to stay if we're going to have this type of deal next year. I mean, if he does anywhere well to above average this year, where he gets us maybe to a Final Four or wins the Big Ten, why would he stay if Ohio State's not going to give him the actual ability to recruit top 100 players? And the fans are not going to get any less rabid. He's going to be just completely just, unfortunately the fans are just going to go crazy if they lose 3 or 4 games in the season because their talent is now like I don't even know what to say, because I feel like Notre Dame's talent, who's been a team that's been like, a top, not like an ultimate team, but like an Alabama and Ohio State. But they've been, that second tier. I feel like we're falling back into that second tier. So, and that Notre Dame's actually passing us up, which is crazy because I would have never have thought that in the last 10, 20 years. I would have never thought that could happen.
Yeah, you're 100% right. This is a second tier recruiting class. It had the juice starting off to be a top 3 to compete for a top class in the country, and they have completely lost the juice in this recruiting class. They are not crossing the finish line well at all. it has everything to do with the fact that they are not being competitive in NIL, and it needs to be fixed. There's no way around it. That has to be fixed, and um, we'll see what happens. I was hoping they were going to take a 180 here quickly and get it rectified, but apparently they're not. And so it almost feels like the 2026 class at this point is what it is. It's going to be out of the top 10 more than likely, unless they're able to get some big flips at the end and get this rectified during the season. But obviously, at this point, the coaching staff, their main focus is on the season now. And Ross Bjork's got to step to the plate, and he's got to get this thing fixed. This is an athletic department issue at this point. Any last thoughts
Ross
on your way
Bjork,
out,
to
Sean?
me, he is the most hot, cold AD there ever was. I mean, the guy literally had problems at Ole Miss, I believe. Then he goes to Texas A&M, pays an outrageous amount for his coach there, and or was a part of that, I believe. Pays an outrageous amount of money for a bunch of defensive linemen, and they got the number one class. And then he comes to Ohio State, and it's the complete opposite. What is going on? Like, doesn't he understand? Like, there's there's positions of need. We literally have two defensive backs in our entire recruiting class. We don't have any. We haven't had any great defensive linemen, like really top guys that we're 100% sure are going to get, be like a Chase Young, like a even Jack Sawyer to some extent was like that,
Okay,
and
5-star.
JT and
They were both 5
the
stars.
Bosa brothers.
They
Like,
were both.
all those guys,
Yeah.
all those guys were locks. I'm not sure we've had a lock in the last 3.5, 4 recruiting cycles. So it's just driving me nuts.
I know you met on the defensive line, Sean, because we've had serious locks in Jeremiah Smith. I think Edric Houston is a lock. He was a 5-star as well. Came in as an end. They moved him to.
Oh, yeah, defensive line. I'm talking defensive line only.
But Edric Houston was a 5-star.
Yeah, but I guess I'm talking DN, and that's my fault. I should be more specific.
That's fine. So no, I get you. I hear you, and trust me. Trust me when I say this to you. Ross Bjork is no dummy. He's an incredibly intelligent man. I think there was a miscalculation on him and the athletic department's overzealousness to follow every T dot every I, cross every T, that is, when it came to the NCAA's wishes on NIL. And in doing so, maybe it had something to do with what was happening, up in Ann Arbor with the investigation. But their overzealousness to bring everything in house and say, "Look at us, we are going to be the model citizen in this," has backfired. But trust me, Bjork is no dummy. He knows what happened. The question is how fast can he get the Titanic turned around here? Because the athletic department is a monstrous machine. It is not something that you can just throw the brakes on, hit reverse, and flip around and go back the other direction. It's going to take some time, unfortunately, which is why I'm telling you the 2006 class at this point, I will be shocked if it's in the top 10 at this point. Sean, great call. You got to start it off on the right foot, my man. I got to move on to the next call. Please call back in again, okay?
Thank you.
OH,
Have
buddy.
a great day. Good job, Eric.
Yep.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, we have a phone line open, everybody. So that's how this works. When the phone lines are full, we got to try to keep them moving, everybody, tonight. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next caller. I believe this is Dan calling in tonight from the 614. What's up, Dan?
Good evening, Eric. How are we doing tonight, good sir?
Doing just fine. How are you?
Oh, just calling in from old West Jeff, and just had some Hardee's, and I can't complain. How about you?
Hardee's fries are really good.
Yes, they are. I was wanting to ask you a favor. Could you maybe release my carcass, the first version, out on your YouTube channel?
I got you.
For
Hey,
everyone,
hey,
please.
I got you one better. I got you one better, Caden. I
Really?
listened to you. I heard what you wanted. I have a new Carcass song for you. Would you like to hear it?
Eric, you are really putting me in a better mood. Play that some.
Now, I just got to warn everybody, per Caden's request, this is really hard, everybody. Here we go.
Hear Buckeyes in my head. They scream with me, they understand. Carcass. You got your maize and your blue, all designed to hide your shame. But when Michigan hits Columbus, we drag you straight through flames. I got a voice that's in my head, hates the dogs and loves your pain. I got a voice that calls it clearly, knows the lames are crying shame. I hear wolverines crying, I see longhorns dying. I taste the hype they're buying, I feel the tension rising. I hear Buckeyes in my head. They scream with me they understand. They talk to me, Carcass. They tell me teams that I will wreck. They show me dreams I'll snap in half. They talk to me, they talk to me, they talk to me.
All right, that's just the first half of the song. I'll have to save the rest for you later. Is that more of your liking, Caden?
Eric, you have sung my bells, buddy, and it's sweet to my ears. You did a good job, my friend.
There you go, man. I didn't know how hard you wanted it, so I went as hard as I could go. There,
You did it hard.
we'll release the entire
It is
song.
right at the Diesel Freak's toad, and I'm gonna tell you what. As an old friend of mine says, and you probably heard me say this line before, Eric, but you'll have to guess the actor who says this quote. Everything is proceeding as I have foreseen.
Oh, that's Star Wars, man. It's the Emperor.
But who is it?
Who was the actor? Gosh, I don't know who the actor.
Which character of Star Wars?
Well, it was the Emperor.
Ding, 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 ding. Correctamundo, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah, I old school
But-
Star Wars. I don't know. I don't watch the new stuff. It's not for my liking.
I just had to do it because I was just, as soon as I heard the first half of it, I was like, now Eric did something right, and I'm grateful he did.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. We will release the entire song for you, Caden. We'll put that together and throw that out there on the Facebook or on the YouTube page for you, buddy. So, all right, man. What do you have what do you have for me tonight? Are we going to talk Texas and Ohio State? We're going to talk Arch Manning. We're going to talk about the SEC going to 9 games. What you got?
Let's get down to the meat and potatoes tonight, Eric. I'm going to get down to the main course meal.
All right.
And let's talk OSU, Texas. OSU, Texas. Everybody in the SEC is saying that Arch Manning is the chosen one. He is the one that will bring Texas the glory that it deserves, that it once held in glory. Well, unfortunately, I've got bad news for Texas fans. That will not happen because August 30th. I will say my score prediction for Week 1 OSU, Texas. Ohio State beats Texas 49-17. You heard it from the mouth of the man, the myth, the legend. 49-17. And Eric, you know why? I'll give you these 2 good reasons. Ohio State's defense will be playing him out like nobody else. They will come into the horseshoe and absolutely beat the living out of Arch Manning. They will blitz him. They will hit him hard, and they will come in every direction for his little carcass. And by the time Arch Manning is too injured, Ohio State's offense is going to just slice and dice of Texas's defense, and we have their number right then and there. And boom, week one win right in the books, sealed to the deal. And now that's all I got to say about that. How does that feel, buddy?
It feels well. I feel like um, if that truly happens, I will be shocked. Not gonna lie. Um, that feels like a pie in the sky, kind of. I don't think. I think that that's unfair putting that high of expectations on a first time starting quarterback against what is considered one of the best defenses in college football. 49-17 kind of feels unrealistic, Caden. Not going to lie.
It may be unrealistic, Eric, but like I said, Ohio State's defense is going to open the game early against Texas. And literally, we'll have their number all day long on defense. We're literally going to be taking the living out of Arch Manning for 60 minutes with that defense, Eric.
Our defense is going to be good. I don't doubt that. I'm just telling you, so is their defense. They have 3 All-Americans on the defensive side of the football, one at every level of their defense, Caden. Texas their defense is the strength of their football team. Just like I feel Ohio State's strength is going to be our defense. I think our offense is better than their offense. But like I said, we have a first-time starting quarterback. Arch Manning, this would be start number 3 for him, year number 3 in the program. He's got 1 year more of development. He's got more game reps. That's going to be an advantage for Texas. It just is in a situation like this. So just speaking realistically, do I think Ohio State can beat Texas? Absolutely, I do. I think it's going to be an incredibly close game, and I think it's going to be a defensive battle. So for you to say 49 points offensively, Caden, that's really putting yourself out there, man. Are you sure you think we're going to score 49 against Texas?
Honestly, Eric, like I said, our defense is going to open up that game against Arch Manning, and then Jeremiah Smith, Chris Henry Jr., Carnell Tate.
Chris Henry Jr. is not even on the team, Caden.
Well, he's a future recruit, but never mind. Bottom line is, I'm confident after we won this national championship game, and I feel like Julian's saying we'll get comfortable. And with fall camp ending, I feel like, this is the beginning of the OSU dynasty. This is the beginning of Ohio State's back-to-back national championship victories in the house. Now we can agree to disagree, Eric, but I'm not gonna shoot the bullet any further, as I'd say. But you know what, Eric? If we do, just remember I told you so.
Okay.
That we beat Texas 49-17.
If we beat them by 30 plus points, Caden, I will do you one better, buddy. You will be my special guest for a video right here on the OHIO podcast. How about that?
Really?
Really. If we beat Texas by 30 or more points, we will have a special video with you on the OHIO podcast.
You know what, Eric? That is a deal.
Okay. All right, Caden. Anything else on your way out, buddy? We got a full bank of calls. We need to keep her moving.
I know everybody's going to call me out for my points calling, but I want to make a stipulation for if I lose.
Okay.
If we don't beat them by 30 plus, I'll just be the regular caller that calls from old Madison County, Ohio over here.
You're just going to be that old regular caller, huh?
I'm putting it as simple and sweet as I can, Eric, but I'm going to let the other folks speak because I got to get my ugly carcass off this dang phone call. Let me be perfectly honest. But as always, OHIO, go Bucks, and you already know the Scone team sucks, Notre Dame sucks, and the next time you see Johnny, what the heck's his name?
Kennedy.
Always Irish Radio.
Yeah.
Please tell him I have Notre Dame losing 4 games.
4 games, huh?
That is correct, and you didn't hear me stutter, good sir.
No, I didn't. No, I also made sure to call them Notre Dame in your song because I know that's what you like to call them.
There you go, Eric. Now you know my taste.
Good night,
Go Bucks,
Caden.
my buddy.
Good night, OH. There he goes. Another phone line's open, everybody. That was Caden the man, Dan, Diesel Freak, whatever he's going by today. He's got a theme song. We'll play it for you all at the end of the show again. Let's head back to the phones. 912, you're up. What's up, Tyler?
Eric.
Go for it, buddy.
49 points. I'm sorry. That's
32-point win. I said 30 or more. I even spotted him 2 points. He said 49-17. He's confident, man. How confident are you, Tyler?
I said 34-17, Eric. Something reasonable. Something like we wear them down and we maybe get some defensive scores. So I said 34-17. Something that could be, realistic.
Yeah, 17 points still feels a little too high to me, Tyler. We beat Texas last year by 14 points, and it took a defensive touchdown to do that. They were driving with the football in the red zone with a chance to tie this thing up 21-21. Don't forget, we also had a huge touchdown at the end of the first half where Travion Henderson took the screen pass. What was it, 70-some yards?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was a lot that went our way to win that game 28-14 last year. Now, there was some advantages for them. It was in the Cotton Bowl, so it was in their home state, right? Just a couple hours from where they play football in Austin. So they had a little bit of a home field advantage, right? It would be like us playing Texas and Indianapolis, okay? That would be a huge advantage for us. So they had an advantage there, right? But I'm sorry. Like, I know Texas has lost a lot. I get it. So's Ohio State. I get it. We've got the big names returning. They've got some big names returning themselves, especially on the defensive side of the ball. This thing is going to be a slobber knocker of a game. And I think it comes down to 2 things, Arch Manning and Julian Sain. Who will rise to the advantage the most in a big spot? And I'm telling you, it's Julian Sain's first start. Here's another stat for you, Tyler. Did you know this?
Mm-hmm.
In the last 20 years, quarterbacks who made their first start against the number 1 ranked teams are 0-18.
Eric, you want to know what source I saw that from? I'm glad you brought that up. You know who the source was from that?
Who?
It was a Texas.
Well, it was On Threes who posted it.
Yeah, but I heard it from. It was referenced by Texas.
Well, sure it was. I mean, why wouldn't it?
And
I mean, it's a stat that definitely goes in their favor, man.
Yeah, so I'm just like this, though. Like, this gave me one. I understand where it's going to be. Julian Sain is going to have those moments where he's going to have to rifle, have to have some pinpoint accurate throws. However, Eric, I was watching some of the tape of Texas and OSU earlier today, Eric, just to remind myself on how Texas was playing defense against us. Texas lost Dade Barron, the best corner in college football last year, to the NFL draft. And they don't have
their star safety they had in that game too, Makuba. They did a very good job on Jeremiah Smith in that game with on that 3-yard reception that JJ had only. If Jahdae Barron did not make that tackle, he would have gone for a touchdown. It's a fact. He would have gone 80 yards for a touchdown. So honestly, if I'm Texas right now and I don't have Jahdae Barron now, who was a top 15 pick in the NFL draft, who are you going to double team JJ with?
Well, I don't think they're not going to be able to double JJ because Ohio State is going to be incredibly smart, Tyler, in how they use him in this game. They're going to move him all over. They're going to send him in motion. They're going to put him in the slot. They're going to use him as a weapon. And I'm here to tell you right now, don't be surprised if Brandon Ennis doesn't have a huge breakout game. Also, this is a Max Clare game, guys. First year starting quarterback and his very first start. What is the safety valve for a freshman quarterback when they feel the pressure? It's the tight end. It's the tight end.
And since Texas runs Tampa 2 all the time, predominantly, Eric, Tampa 2 defense, the weakness of Tampa 2 zone coverage is in between the safeties and linebackers. Max Clare's going to have a big day.
He could. He very well could be. Max Clare, Brandon Ennis could have a big day. Carnell Tate, if he's going to be, they're going to go one-on-one with him because they're just going to follow. There's a chance that Texas spies Jeremiah Smith the whole game. They just got one person on him the whole game, no matter where he goes, that one person is following him. And then they play zone everywhere else. I could see them doing something like that. But it creates a weakness for them up front. And and I've been saying this all along, if Ohio State's offensive line can establish the line of scrimmage and we can just run the football, that's what we're going to do. We're going to run the football. We're going to dominate the line of scrimmage. We're going to keep the football out of their hands. And if our defense can get off the field, 3 and outs, they can create some 3 and outs and create some field position. There's no reason why Ohio State can't go up at halftime by a couple scores. And then that's going to set up basically exactly what Ohio State wants to do. Because then the entire second half, it is literally just, all right, now we just run it down their throats.
See, I'm glad you brought that up, Eric, because I was, again, watching the all 22. Defense is what they're doing against us is they want to run cover 2 shell on us because they think that, we can't run the ball. We can have a bracket coverage and we can have a umbrella coverage over our receivers. They don't want our receivers to go open over the top on them. So if we can run the ball with James Peoples, because we're going to be facing 6-man box against Texas. If we can run the ball on them and force them to go to single high safety, it's game over. Checkmate.
Well, we'll have to find out because Texas defensively is not just going to let us do whatever we want. They are a very good defensive football team. There's going to be a lot of give and take back and forth in this game, Tyler. I will be shocked if we win 49-17. I will be just as shocked if we win 34-17, to be honest with you, Tyler. But is that more in the cards than 49-17? Yeah, it is. But I think that, if Ohio State can get in the 30s, we win this football game, hands down. we win
Yep.
this football game.
And see, here's the other reason why I think that this game could get in the 30s, Eric. I only say this because for one reason. So, Texas, they run zone coverage. They don't run man coverage, they run zone coverage. When you're against zone, you just have to find an open space between the zones. Against man coverage, the throw has to be perfect every single time.
Unless you beat your man.
But
But that means you're gonna need offensive line to give you time. If the offensive line can give you time and it's 1-on-1, then Jeremiah Smith's gonna eat you up all game. That would be suicide for them to do that.
Now I'm going to go a little off topic, Eric, and talk about the SEC.
Yes, please do.
So, Eric, we've been complaining to the SEC fans about 9 conference games for the longest.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we have.
You get beat up so badly going through the Big Ten schedule.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gauntlet. But you are the SEC and you say that you have the toughest conference in college football, but yet you play in a team at the end of November like a Mercer, like a Furman, like a Chattanooga. All these bottom feeder teams, and yet for example, us Buckeye fans, we go for Michigan, we go for Penn State, Oregon, USC, UCLA, Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and go through all of them week after week after week after week for 9 weeks. Even the bottom feeder teams of the Big Ten will beat you up. So if you're the SEC and you only play 8 games and you claim you're the toughest conference, that 9th game is going to be we're going to see how tough you guys really are.
Well, Tyler, they're not going to remove a cupcake from their schedule. They're still going to keep a cupcake on their schedule. That's something that they're going to do. They have basically what they've done is they have replaced whatever big game you were playing out of the conference with an in-conference game. That's what they're going to do. So don't be shocked. You heard it here first. Don't be shocked if and when Alabama and or Georgia will cancel their home and home with Ohio State. Don't be shocked.
Are you sure about that, Eric?
I'm pretty positive about that. Jerry says, Eric, when do they start 9 conference games? Next season. They start it next season. Look, Tyler, they're going to start using the excuse of our conference is so difficult that we can't afford to play another big conference game outside of the conference schedule. That is it's the Kurt Signetti school of scheduling here. We're going to have 3 cupcakes. I think everybody's going to start to do it. So just get ready for your non-conference schedule to be 3 home games against 2 MAC schools and probably a Pac-12 school, aka a former Mountain West school, or somebody like that, a Sun Belt school coming in, an upper echelon group of 5 school. Because at the end of the day, those 9 conference games are what's going to get you into the college football play. You gotta get 10. 10 gets you in, right? That's the new saying. 10 and I'm in. So hey, make sure you get to 10. And if you play 3 really difficult conference games, guess what? You have to win one of those 3, and you win your other 9 games, and you're in. That's the thinking process behind what everybody will be doing in their scheduling. And so we all, yes, the Big Ten flexed their muscles, Tyler. The SEC bowed the knee. They went to 9, but I'm telling you right now, I will be flabbergasted if Ohio State keeps their home and home with Georgia and Alabama, which is coming up in the future. So just be ready for
Yep.
that. All right,
But
Tyler.
I got a question with that, Eric.
Yeah, one last question. We got to
before
keep it moving.
No, this will be just a follow-up question to that. How do you feel about us getting rid of those games against Georgia and Alabama?
I feel it sucks.
Yeah.
I hate it, but it is it's what college football's doing. So now I'm just saying that's my bet. I bet you that's what happens. Maybe they keep them. Maybe the Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State look at this and say it's just too much money not to keep it. So we'll see. All right, Tyler. Great question, man. Great phone call. We got to keep it going, Betty. But I appreciate you calling in, buddy. OH.
All right. I'll.
All right, another phone line is open, guys. That's how we keep doing it, man. We just keep going through these one at a time until we get to your phone call. So next up, we've got the 931. We're gonna bring David on. 859. You're on deck. What's up, David?
What's going on, brother?
It is a lovely evening, Thursday night in the Buckeye State. We have a football Friday tomorrow. High school football kicks off, David.
Awesome. Hey, you know what? Better than that, we got 7 days and a wake up till we see some Buckeye football, brother.
Yeah, indeed, man. Day number 8
7
tomorrow.
and a wake
Arvell
up.
Reese days tomorrow, and then Saturday's it, man. We're 7 days from Saturday. We're 1 week out.
So I'm stoked. I can't wait. We're ready. We're preparing for those the Tex-Mex cuisine that we're going to be having on game day this year. I think the wife's going to do a little Buckeye tiramisu for dessert, and I don't think if we start off fast, and I mean starting off fast, I mean start scoring in the second quarter. The amount of weapons that we have, I honestly don't think that 49-17 that was thrown out there is that wild.
David, are you serious, bro?
Listen, brother. Listen. They lost as many people as we did. All right?
I know that.
They lost as many people as we did. Okay? They're talking about how great this defensive line is. Is it? I'm going to bring this up one more time. Let this sink in. They went out and got 5 dudes in the portal.
Mm-hmm.
If your defensive line is that good, you don't go out and get 5 dudes in the portal.
Okay, let me push back. Let me push back, David. They went out and got 5 defensive tackles, correct? All defensive tackles. They have a defensive tackle problem. When Edric Houston we went down with the injury in day number 1 of practice, did we not all panic? We also have a defensive tackle problem.
Well, like I said, let me finish here. Now.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, going back to the bowl game, right? Like I said, that game should have ended at a minimum of 42-14. We missed 2 touchdown catches in the end zone.
What game?
2 of them in the bowl game.
Cotton Bowl?
In the Cotton Bowl. Yes.
Okay.
We missed 2 touchdown passes in that game. All right. Jeremiah Smith slipped coming out of break, and the ball fell in the end zone between like 4 Texas defenders, and Carnell Tate dropped one that hit him square in the hands. That was 2 missed touchdown passes. That game should have been 42-14. right? And I'm glad you brought up Brandon Inniss, because I brought this up to you guys after the spring game. And actually, I didn't even need to even see the spring game to know that what Brandon Inniss is a dog. Just all you got to do is see him when he was in the game, in any game last year when he came in. He was a dog. If he wasn't catching the ball, he was throwing a block. And I don't even think he really even cares which one he does. I think he enjoys throwing a block and as much as he enjoys catching the ball. If Brandon Inniss is a dog, all right, there's a reason why they made him a captain. He's a dog. And you're absolutely right. He is going to be, I think he's going to have a huge game. I think him and Max Clare are both going to have a huge game in this Texas game, because they're going to be they know that they need to keep Jeremiah Smith under control. They cannot allow him to go wild.
100% agree with that.
If Texas can't come out and stay with us, they can't. If they can't come out and stay with us, it's going to get ugly. And that bowl game really didn't. Everybody kind of overlooked and didn't see that those two missed touchdowns were huge. We're having a different conversation if those two touchdown catches are made. We're having a different conversation about Texas. I guarantee you Texas wouldn't be preseason ranked number 1. I like the fact that they're coming in at number 1.
I do too, actually.
Because, like I said all along, they're coming into a Buckeye buzzsaw. And it was concerning when Edric Houston got hurt in the first, series of the fall camp. But, hey, Thor, you can put him anywhere on that defensive line.
he's
anywhere.
He's something else, buddy. I really like him.
You can play him inside. You can play him outside. Go look at his highlights from when he was at North Carolina. They played him all over that line.
Yeah, he was inside on third downs, man. He was a part of their Rushman package. Yep.
And honestly, they say that their defensive line is the best in the country. I don't know. Like I said, hey, they went out and got 5 dudes. If your defensive line is that legit, you don't need to go out and get 5 dudes. I'm just saying. We can't overlook facts. And bring it, Texas. And I'm not, like I said, I've watched. I haven't seen anything out of Arch that makes me think that he's the guy, right? Arch, I don't think is going to beat you with his arm. I don't think he's not that. He holds onto the ball too long. And go back and watch the Texas-Mississippi State game. That game, Texas beat them by 10 points. That game was a tied game, I think, going into the fourth quarter. And it wasn't they were into the fourth quarter when they finally started separating themselves from Mississippi State. And I'm sorry. I think everybody's just completely goo-goo, gaga-eyed over Arch. He hasn't proven anything. He hasn't proven anything yet. He's done absolutely nothing.
David,
don't show me something in these high school highlights.
Can I ask you a question? What is your response to the 0-18 number that is being floated out there when it comes to first-time starting quarterbacks going up against number 1 ranked teams in the last 20 years?
I think it's a meaningless stat. I think it's one of those things that's meaningless. I don't think it really means anything. You want to put weight on it? All right, go ahead. I think it's an empty stat. It's an empty stat. It's not game by game. It's. How many times did we start? I just don't think it's. I don't think it's anything to worry about. I think it's a fun stat. Okay, it's wild, but you know what? No one ever thought we'd beat Clemson either. So
Back
all
in
streaks come to an end.
back
at
in
some point.
2020, is that
All
what you're
streaks
talking
come to
about?
an end at some point.
Back in 2020, that Clemson game, is that one you're talking
Yeah.
about? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That should have come to an end back in 2019 with
yeah,
Clemson, but
yeah, them doggone SEC refs. My gosh, I'm still
Yeah.
burned over that one,
Yeah.
David.
I'm still burning over that one.
I interviewed I was on a Texas podcast Monday night, and then I interviewed a Texas podcaster from our sister Texas podcast, the Longhorn Republic, on the College Huddle for next week's preview. They are incredibly confident. The buzz surrounding Texas, and I asked him this question. I think you're going to really love his response when you get to watch the preview video, David. I asked him, why is there so much national buzz about your football team when you're replacing so many starters and you had to hit the portal for some? And his response was because the players that were being developed that are taking those spots are mostly upperclassmen. Which, if you look at Ohio State, it's the same thing. So this might come down to whose players who are making their first time starts have been developed better. So did Sark and his coaching staff develop their team better? Or did Ohio State and their coaching staff develop their team better? Plus, here's something else for you to chew on and think about, David. Texas maintained the majority of their coaching staff. We are replacing 2 coordinators. Do you think that will play into this game at all? Positively or negatively?
Yeah, but you know what didn't change for Ohio State was a head coach. And coaching matters. I don't care what level. Doesn't matter what level it is. I don't care. Coaching matters. And once again, you know who Sark is? Sark is just a little bit better version of James Franklin. What has Sark won?
Did they win the SEC 2 years ago?
No. They got beat by Georgia.
Okay. No, that was last year.
Yeah. What has Sark won? I mean, what really big important game has he won?
His biggest win was probably the first time they played Georgia, right? In the regular season that year.
Probably.
And then let's see. The Fiesta Bowl against Arizona State, obviously, overtime win, but not a huge win, I guess, if you think about it. Should have won that one by more.
I mean, they had to get help from the officials to win that game.
That's true.
They had to get help from the officials to win that game, like most SEC teams. They get some help from the officials to push them over the finish line. So, there's nothing about Texas that to me is more scary than they were last year. You look at that team and tell me they're more scary than they were last year.
I have a correction. It was the Peach Bowl, not the Fiesta Bowl. My apologies. They beat Arizona State in the Peach Bowl, and then they beat Clemson the week before that in the first round of the playoff at home, 38-24. No, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm trying to be realistic in my thought process about this season. Meaning, I just don't want to put national championship or bust expectations on this team. And when you're going up against, let me give you my thought process, David, because I want to explain myself thoroughly here. We were 10-2 last year in the regular season with one of the best rosters ever constructed at Ohio State in my lifetime. To think that we are going to be just as good, if not or better this year, is just hard for me to wrap my mind around. If we are going to be 10-2 again, then I have to find 2 losses on this schedule. Do you follow my thinking process here?
Yes.
That's one of the reasons why I'm a little weary about Texas, game 1. First time start for Julian Sain. And of course, if you're going to talk about him, you got to talk about Arch Manning. So I hear everything you're saying. I agree with 99.9% of it, but I also don't want to put myself in a place where if we don't win 42-17, I'm mad at the coaching staff and I'm mad at these players. You know what I'm saying? At this point, just win this thing by 1 point. That's all I care about, right?
Oh, absolutely. Just win the game. Like I said, it doesn't matter whether it's 1 point or 21 points. But I just the thing you really have to worry about with Texas's offense is that they use those running backs. Matter of fact, I think that running back for them had both of their both touchdown catches for them in the bowl game. If I'm not mistaken, is that one running back had both of his touchdowns. I believe he had both touchdowns. Both of them were catches.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they utilize they use them in the run game, and then they use those running backs also in the passing game, in the intermittent passing game. Because and there is probably where I've seen where Manning will be a problem if they can get the ball out of his hands quickly.
Right.
He's going to have to get the ball out of his hands quick because I think somebody that everybody's overlooking on this defensive line is going to be Caden Curry. I tell you what, coming down the backstretch in the playoffs last year, that dude popped. He popped in the postseason, and I think that's going to carry over this year. I think if there's anybody, in my opinion, that's being overlooked on this team, I think it's Caden Curry.
I'm a big Caden Curry fan.
He's going to be a problem. He's going to be a problem for people.
Yeah, I'm a big Caden Curry fan, man. I hope he has a huge year. David, this was a fantastic. I love talking ball with you, brother. I love it when you call in. I love talking ball with you. You put a smile on my face. I enjoy talking to you, brother. We got to move on to the next callers, though. Thank you so much for calling in, OH. All right, guys, we've made it through halfway through the show. Oh, we got another spot open. Another spot open on the call list, guys. Obviously, you can tell we're getting closer to the season. The call banks have been full all night long. As one drops off, another one hops on. We have 5 lines, guys. They're all full. So if you call in, there's a busy signal. You have to wait till the caller ahead of you drops off, and then you jump on. Don't forget, we have a new sponsor, everybody, mybookie.com. That's right. Mybookie.com wants to give you insurance. We're calling it bet insurance. Go to mybookie.com, sign up, use promo code OHIO. That's right, us. OHIO. They gave us that promo code, ladies and gentlemen. You go there, sign up, use promo code Ohio. They're going to give you $500 of insurance. What that means is you are fully covered. They will pay you back. They will pay you back up to $500 if you opt in using your bet back bonus at mybookie.com. So let's go do this together, ladies and gentlemen. Go to mybookie.com. And I also want to highly recommend that you go over to The College Huddle. The College Huddle. Go check out our YouTube channel over at The College Huddle. Dropping tonight. It just dropped before this show. Week 0 preview with Chef from the Cocaine Willie podcast and K-State podcast. Chef and I talk about Farmageddon. That's the big kickoff game at noon this Saturday. K-State, Iowa State from Dublin, Ireland. We preview that game. Plus, we give our predictions on the over-unders. So we're going against the spread on all the games being played this Saturday, week 0. So make sure you go check that out, everybody. Great It is a great video. Make sure you're following that channel. You checking it out. Also, this is the last Thursday night for our call-in show. This is it. The last time we're doing it on a Thursday night. Next Thursday night, the Buckeye ladies make their debut. That's right, TG and Mika will be here. The Buckeye ladies will make their debut next Thursday night, 8 o'clock, right here on the OHIO podcast channel. You're not going to want to miss TG and Mika talking ball. They're not only pretty faces, they don't only have lovely voices, they actually know football. All right? We actually have people who know ball here on the OHIO podcast. So make sure you check them out and give them some of your love next Thursday night. The call-in show will be moving to Saturday morning. Saturday morning at 10 a.m. So next Monday, I will be taking over the Monday night call-in show. Chris will be doing Saturday morning call-in show, getting you ready for the day that will be in college football with a call-in show at 10 a.m. You don't like Desmond Howard on ESPN? No worries. You don't like Dave Portnoy on Big Noon Kickoff on Fox? No worries. Come to the OHIO podcast. Dial it up with Chris, 567-483-1999, and talk Buckeyes, talk college football, talk about the day that will be with the Wild Man here on the OHIO podcast. All right, let's go back to the phone lines, everybody. And I think this is going to be Buck Vader. 260, you're on the hole. Buck Vader, you're on with the OHIO podcast. What's up, buddy?
Hey Podfather, it's Vader. How's it going?
It is going well tonight. It is good to hear your voice, Vader. How's it going with you, my friend?
I'm doing great. Before we start talking football, I would like to address all your nicknames. You're the Podfather, Buckeye Boggs, Biggie Podge, and the Wizard of Boggs. This is a very special game coming up, so I think you need a very special nickname just for this week.
Okay, what will that nickname be? Do you have one for me?
This week I think you should go by Boss Boggs. We get you an Ohio State cowboy hat, a three-piece all-white suit, something for the hood of your car. Why, nobody knows, it's just how they roll in Texas. Possibly some cattle and Basset hound. What do you think?
Boss Boggs, huh? Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm gonna Mika agrees with you. She said 100%. So next Monday night on the call-in show, Boss Boggs is gonna have to make his debut, huh? All right, you got it. You
Yeah.
want it. You got it, buddy. It's gonna happen. All right. What do you want to talk about first, buddy? You want to talk about the quarterbacks? You want to talk about the anything you want to talk about? Bring it up. It's your show now, my man.
I think Sayan and Manning is going to be a great matchup. They are both former number one quarterbacks coming out of high school. Manning is very skilled and athletic. But I think he has a couple of problems nobody is talking about. First, he has no real backup. No disrespect, but I follow recruiting and I don't even remember his backup at all. It makes sense though when you have a guy so hyped it clears out the room. Same thing happened to us when we had Pryor. So is Texas going to let him run a lot in week one with big hitters like Downs and Reese? I wouldn't. Second, yes, Manning had a little experience against two terrible teams, but unlike Sayan, Manning was handed his job. Sayan had to earn it by winning a tough quarterback battle. I think that is an advantage for Sayan. Sayan is very talented but is also unproven. But I believe in him and Coach Day.
That is an interesting take. I have not really thought too much about the fact that if he runs, he could get in trouble. But I think there will be some hesitation on Manning's part to run. Remember, the last time he took off and ran in a football game, he got his bell rung. I believe it was Sonny Styles that rang his bell pretty good. And Sonny's out there again, and he's even bigger and badder than ever. And oh yeah, don't forget Arvell Reese, his running mate there at the linebacking position, is essentially Chase Young a smaller Chase Young at the linebacker position. So good points. I agree with all of that. We will see what they do with him in that game, but I love your insight there. What other insight do you have for us tonight?
I think this game will be a low-scoring slugfest. First, the opening game, the defense is always ahead of the offense. Second, you have two young quarterbacks. The good news is I think the Buckeyes have a clear advantage in a few key areas. I believe our front seven will control their offensive line, especially since they suffered a few key injuries. The second, although their secondary is improved from a couple years ago, I don't think they have enough to cover all of our weapons at receiver and tight end. I'm not sure anyone does with the addition of Max Clare. If Sane can just make good decisions and execute passes most quarterbacks can do, we could have an offense very similar to Alabama in 2020. Our defense has no obvious weaknesses. In fact, I believe our pass coverage will be better.
Yes, I also agree with that. I do think our pass coverage will be better. I think our secondary is pretty good. Um, I also think the linebackers could be better. My curiosity will be the defensive line in this game. I think if the defensive line can hold up and or be not control the line of scrimmage, but give Manning some problems, and then don't let him run all over us. I think our defense can do a really good job. I think it's gonna be a low scoring game. I'm with you on that. My curiosity will be if our offensive line can control the line of scrimmage against their defensive line. I think we win the football game. I think that is definitely a possibility. Now, do I think we go out there and we win 42-17? I do not. But I love everybody's confidence. And if it happens, I will celebrate with each and every single one of you. And you can all call me on Monday night and say, I told you so. So, um, yeah, that's good. Um, anything else anything else you want to talk about before you tell everybody about the Buckeye ladies?
No.
All right, buddy. Tell us what you got about the Buckeye ladies on your way out, Buck Vader.
Thanks for having me on again. I would like to take a minute and plug the new show I've been working on. 1 week from tonight at 8. Please log on to watch the Buckeye Ladies starring Marvelous Mecha and TG the Wolverine Slayer. It's going to be amazing and historic. The first and only all-female show in the Buckeye podcast community. I want to thank you and Chris for giving us the opportunity to do this. I believe Buckeye fans are going to be blown away by the knowledge and passion these two ladies have. Everything I do and say on here is 100% what I believe. So please support this channel any way you can. They give opportunity to Buckeye fans that maybe couldn't get without them.
Thank you, Buckeye Vader, buddy. I appreciate the phone call and appreciate your friendship. OH, my man, have a good night. That was Buck Vader, everybody. I'm giving him a second here. And then there it was. There was the IO. Good night, my friend. Okay. Let me say this before I move on to the next phone call. That is 100% Buck Vader. That is his voice that he uses to communicate. I do not give him, those are all his 100% his thoughts. All of the videos that he has made are one that we've collaborated on. Those are all 100% his words that he typed up using the devices that he is given to communicate with. I just happen to put the videos together for them, but that is all Buck Vader's work. And he does a tremendous job, and he is becoming a great producer. He's producing he's producing the Buckeye Lounge for TG and Sean, and he's going to be producing the Buckeye Ladies show next Thursday night as well. And he's become an intricate part of our community, and I appreciate everything he does. He's got a zeal for this. He's got a passion as a Buckeye fan, and I know some people may have been wondering, um, is Chris and Eric feeding him this information to say no? All we do is I say, here's what we're talking about tonight, and I text that to him, and that's all his own words, everybody. So shout out to Vader for what he does. Glad to have him a part of the OHIO podcast community. Uh, and Vader, we still have a little surprise coming your way. Hopefully, it'll be here before the end of the season, but we've got a little something for you that'll be coming your way. All right, let's head back to the phone lines, everybody. I was so excited about that call with Buck Vader. I did not look and see who the next phone call was going to be here. I apologize. Oh, yeah, it's the living legend, my friends. What's going on, my man? What's happening, Ray?
Hey, Eric, how you doing?
It's a lovely night. It's a great night to be a Buckeye. It's beautiful in the state of Ohio, and high school football starts tomorrow, Ray.
Yeah, I think it started up here a week or two ago here in Indiana. Hey, Saturday's my 76th birthday.
Happy birthday, Ray! Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a little under the weather a little bit, but I'm still hanging in there.
You sound great. You sound like you're 26.
Thank you. I'll tell you, Eric, I know all us Ohio State fans want us to beat Texas up, but come on. Some of these scores, it reminds me of the days of listening to the Michigan football fans for 40 years that they were going to kill everybody by 50 points. You're not going to, Eric, you're down to earth, okay? Do you really think they're going to beat Texas 34-17 or 49-13?
No, I don't.
It would shock the hell out of me if Texas is that bad.
Me too. It would shock me as well. But hey, if it happens,
I would take a 1-point victory, like you said.
Me too. Let's just win. Let's just win. At the end of the day, it's about stacking wins on top of wins to get to the college football playoff. You got to get to 10. 10 and you're in.
I know everybody wants to pick on this guy because he's a Manning, but his dad and his two brothers know how to teach him how to throw the football too. This guy isn't going to be that frightened of coming into Ohio State.
No, I don't think so either. Buck Vader said, "Happy birthday, Ray." He put that on the chat there for you.
Oh, tell him thank you. And I like the way he talked. He's down to earth. He said it was going to be a defensive struggle. That's what I see in this game. I don't think you're right. That 0 for 18. That tells it all, man. It's going to be hard for this kid at times. They're going to trick him and stuff. It ain't going to go easy every time.
Oh no, they're gonna disguise their defensive fronts. They're going to play mind tricks with him pre-snap to try to confuse him because they know they've got a young kid making his first start. So they're gonna try to confuse the living hell out of him, dude. You know that's what they're gonna do, Ray.
Well, hey, look it. The one thing we got on our side is. Didn't they lose their offensive line or something like that?
They lost four starters, 3.5 because one was injured, similar to Ohio State. So they had two returning starters on the offensive line, and then one of them went down with injury this preseason. So they will have basically four new starting offensive.
That's what I'm banking on. That we're gonna have to put pressure on this Manning kid because if they don't, he'll eat them up.
I don't know that he'll eat us up, but yeah, he's going to be a gamer. He's a gamer, guys. He's going to do whatever it takes to move the football down the field, whether it's with his arm or his legs. He's gutsy. He knows that this is his opportunity to put his name out there. He is, Ray, the thing I wonder about him is because he's a Manning, does he feel extra pressure? Right? To me, that's what I would wonder.
Everybody thought Peyton Manning and Eli won 2 Super Bowls, so he was no slouch. He beat New England twice.
Yeah, it's
You know,
true, but
you know what I'm saying?
yeah, I do know what you're saying. But he's also his own player. He's his own person.
Right. Everybody's different, but I think they played with each other all the time, and
Sure.
his dad teaches him the fundamentals and everything, so he's got a little bit of leg up on that compared to our guy. And I just don't know how this our quarterback's going to be, in this first big game, and it's at home. That's the one good thing, but still, there's going to be some jitters there.
Yeah, yeah. I fully expect there to be some jitters there, which is why the beginning of this game is going to be so important. Ohio State needs to make sure that they get off on the right foot early in this football game.
Right. No turnovers. Turnovers are the killer
That they
of
kill you.
all of it.
You're right. They will kill you.
Eric, I don't mean to rehash all this stuff, but I hope to God them bullies really do appeal this thing. If they really do, I'm hoping that the NCAA will say, "The hell with that 12-man panel. We're gonna do it right this time. They want to appeal this. We're gonna give them back the penalties they should have got to start with, the two-year bowl ban. That's what I'm hoping. I don't think the NCAA's got the guts to do it, but you know what? I told you a month or two ago when that Warren Manu was on the Big Ten, they were lushing over him. I and Paul Feinbaum, I know you guys don't like him, but he said all along there was never going to be any penalties on this stuff, and he ended up being right.
Yeah, he was 100% right. And
Well,
Corey,
that's why the Big Ten Network and ESPN and all these other networks never really picked up on it. It was always everything I heard about it for the whole time was on YouTube. When that Buckeye scoop thing was on there,
mhm.
Nevada, I thought he knew what he was talking about, and he ended up being wrong, and he probably lost a lot of bets over that one because he was betting people left and right. Uh, but after looking at all the things that they put in there, they all said it should have been done, and it didn't get done. I mean, how can a 12-man panel override everything that should have been done to keep a little bit of honesty and integrity of the game?
It blows my mind, Ray. I'm not surprised. I wasn't shocked by it.
Yeah.
I was always concerned that the NCAA wouldn't have the backbone or the teeth to do anything. And you saw what happened this week, right? Auburn claimed games and national titles now. They're like, well, if the NCAA is not going to do anything about it, we're just going to claim these wins and these national championships.
Oh, you mean Auburn's going to try to get their victories back?
No, they just claimed them. They didn't care. They went ahead and hung up national championship years in their stadium where they're like,
Why,
yeah, we're not.
why
We're
didn't
national
Ohio
champ-"
State do it?
That's what I'm saying. We should too. Then, if the NCAA says there's no punishment for anything, then who cares what they think? It's like Ray. It's like a kid with no parents. I never get in trouble, so I'm just going to go do whatever the heck I want. There's no
I know
punishment
it.
for it.
Hey, Eric, the one thing left is the Weiss thing. Uh, you can't tell me that this guy was the offensive coordinator and Jim Harbaugh and the program did not know about all this crap coming down. We never did find out about the gambling yet, and what are they going to do if they find out he gambled and they won bets on it? And also, are, are aren't they going to do anything for offensive coordinator for doing that kind of crap when he's supposed to be the offensive coordinator for Jim Harbaugh?
If anything happens, Ray, it's going to have to come from the FBI because it ain't going to come from the NCAA. That much
Yeah,
we
I
now
agree
know
with
is
you
true.
there.
Now, thankfully, Matt Weiss he's in trouble. He's in jail. He's going to be going to prison for what he did. It's a federal crime, but it's not a federal
Right.
crime to cheat in college football games. So go
Well, I'm
do it.
talking about
Go
the
do it.
gambling part.
Well,
They
but
they
again, the gambling
want.
part would be a federal crime. It would have to be a tried in a federal court, or state court of some kind, because the NCAA, they just don't have any backbone, any strength anymore. They are weak noodles. They are on their deathbed as an organization, and they admitted it through this. They are dead.
It's
They
sad
they literally
because
took the money and ran.
I can
Essentially,
see
what they
all
did.
these players in the future and in the past are going to just say, "Well, there ain't no, if they can do it, why can't we do it?"
Yeah, no, it's open season to whatever cheating you want. By the way, Ohio State's
And
going
that
to a huddle now. They went
you know
straight up
one
going
other
to a
thing,
huddle.
Eric, people aren't talking about. We just started this $10-20 million for these players. How long is it going to take before these guys start beating people up, killing people, uh, shooting people over money, and going to after hours joints and everything else? I really wonder if the college football is going to be able to survive in the next 5-10 years.
It'll survive, but it's going to look very, very different. It's going to be NFL light, brother. That's what we're heading towards is an NFL model, which might not necessarily be a bad thing now that we've introduced financials into the game, because the quicker we can get these to get us contracts with player unions and negotiations involved, the cleaner the game will be eventually. So until then,
Well,
we're
you
living
know,
in the wild, wild
Harbaugh got
west.
14 years of show cause.
Yeah, but
Do you think Goodell's going to have
no,
any guts to
no,
penalize him at all?
no, he ain't gonna do that.
I don't think so either.
No.
I think that being a big brand, saying where they at Los Angeles Chargers now.
Yeah.
They left San Diego, didn't they?
Yeah, they're in L.A.
Yeah, L.A. So he probably won't do it on the big market like that.
No, probably not. All right, Ray, we're gonna keep
Well, let's
moving,
hope.
buddy.
Let's hope we have a great. Is all of our players looking pretty healthy still?
Yeah. Yeah, Edric Houston was the only one with an injury, and he seems to be back on the mends, and he's practicing and preparing. So all is well heading into the last week of practice.
Well, you know, we had a lot of problems last year with our offensive line. I just hope we can stay healthy because this is a tough game to start the season.
A very tough game to start the season, Ray, but we'll see what happens, man.
It should be great to watch.
It's going to be great to
Should
watch.
be great to watch.
You're absolutely right, Ray. Hey, Ray, next Monday Ray, next Monday I'm moving to the Monday night call-in show, okay?
Okay.
And then
I think I heard that.
And then there won't be a call-in show on Thursday. It'll be moved to Saturday mornings, okay?
Right.
All right, buddy. Have a good night.
I'll call you next Monday.
Sounds good. Can't wait to hear from you Monday. Have a good night. OH.
Yeah, I hope I have a great birthday Saturday. I've been going through a lot of tough times the last couple of months, so I could use a great birthday party. I got a bunch of people coming to have do you guys have any Longhorns down there, steakhouses?
Yeah, there's some Texas Roadhouses. Marysville down the road.
Every birthday I get a double mousse cake with a double ice cream. It's only got about 20,000 calories in it.
You better run an extra mile backwards, buddy.
I know. That's why I only do it once a year, Eric.
You don't want to end up looking like me, Ray. Come on now.
Well, come on. You're walking.
I am.
You're catching up with me.
I am. Every morning I get up and
you got to start. You got to start somewhere. Just work your way up, okay?
I'll work my way up so I can go backwards like you. All right, Ray. Have a good one. OH, right, buddy.
I-O. God bless.
All right. We're going to keep her moving. Here we go. I've been waiting for this one. What's up, Burks?
Dude, it's great to be a Michigan fan, man.
Don't come in here with that trash. It's great to be a Michigan man. Oh my God, we got away with murder. It's so great to be a Michigan man. Give me a break. You can't say that. You don't really believe that, Burks.
All right, fine. Yes and no. I'll say that. Recruiting is skyrocketing. All right, it's like, man, you guys better fix your recruiting issue, man.
Oh, and it's bad. It's not good right now. It's not good.
Yeah. I'm even like surprised, man. Like you guys just won the Natty, and the fact that you guys could get out of the top 10, it's pretty easy to get out of the top 10 at that point, And I think one of your safeties, the second highest recruit. I don't know what his name is, but he's apparently, according to On3, he's in Flip Watch, so I don't know. But he's a 5-star safety apparently that you have.
There's some issues, man. There's some issues, and it needs to get cleaned up, and it needs to get fixed. And I can tell you this much, Burks: this fan base is not going to sit back and let that happen very long. You can.
Oh yeah, I know.
You can let one class slide, but if you start to build classes that are sliding multiple years, you're done. You're dead in the water. You're dead in the water. And Ryan Day knows that. Ross Bjork knows that. So we'll give them a chance here to get things right. But yeah, I have my theories, and I've thrown my theories out there as to what's going on. But until we know for sure, that's all they are. They're just theories.
And you know what's actually crazy is, all my life, right? Ohio State, man, like always, like every Ohio State fan I've talked to, or like on Twitter, or when I had Twitter at least. Now I have Discord and stuff. All the time, they love the recruiting class better than Michigan. All the time,
Sure.
But this is the first time ever, Eric, ever, where I've heard. And even though your recruiting class is just a bit better ranking wise, a lot of the Ohio State fans like our recruiting class better, which is crazy. It's like I've never heard this in my life. It's like, holy crap, man. Because they love Savion Hyder, they love Carter Meadows, they love some of the guys that, at least on Discord, when I was, communicating with like 4 or 5 Ohio State guys, it was like, dude, is this like a dream, man? Is it a dream?
I don't know. You tell me, man. Are you having a wet dream over there? What's going on, Burks?
I know, dude. Hey, man, momentum is high, dude. Everything, man. You better watch out because Michigan's here to stay, dude. Here to stay, man.
Michigan should have never went anywhere, Burks. You're Michigan. Why are you saying you're here to stay? Where were you for the last 2 decades up till now? Where were you?
Dude, you need to understand that 2012, man, that's when the first year I became a Michigan fan, right? So I was a fan of the university in 2010. But I didn't start watching like college football like that until 2012. And you need to understand, dude, all right? From 2012 to 2020 could arguably be the worst years of Michigan football for being your first 8 years. Because think about it, right? You never won a Big Ten title. You never beat Ohio State. You never won a New Year's Six bowl game, right? And so finally, dude, I can finally say that, oh my God, it is exciting to be a Michigan football fan. And listen, that's what I'm trying to, I feel like a lot of my fan base on YouTube and stuff, it's like they just became a Michigan fan in 2021, right? Like, just like went to be a Michigan fan after 2020. Because like, it feels like none of them have realized like the hard pains of what it was like to be a Michigan fan, back when in the Adidas years. You know what I'm saying?
No, I do know what you're saying because I lived your existence in the 90s. So
really,
yes, Ohio State.
So your first, tell me your first 8 years as an Ohio State fan. What were they like? Did you guys win? Did you guys win a Rose Bowl? Did you guys win Big Ten titles?
No.
I think you've won probably at least 1 or 2 Big Ten titles.
Well, 96 when I was in 8th grade. When we won the Rose Bowl, that is when I call that my night of baptism. That's when I was baptized into Ohio State fandom. But up until that point, Burks, all I knew was good teams that got beat and then lost their bowl games. They got beat by Michigan and they lost their bowl games. That was my existence as a child up until 8th grade. That was the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like I said, I know about it now, obviously, like after being a fan and being kind of like a historian type. But let's talk about so what is my preseason record, right, is 10-2 for Ohio State. Is this probably your preseason record? Probably 10-2 is
Yes.
what you're.
I have Ohio State
Yeah.
and Michigan both 9-2 going into the last game of the year.
Yeah, and you have Ohio State winning, and Michigan is at 9-3, and they will not make the playoffs.
Correct.
So yeah, that's your okay. Got you. No,
That's my
it's,
prediction.
Yeah, no, listen, man, I have Michigan at 10-2, but you need to understand, dude. The reason here's a lot of Ohio State fans lately, man. They've been way too arrogant, thinking that they're only going to lose one game or go undefeated this season, like regular, like just what I've been hearing on at least Discord. But the issue is, dude, is that you guys have such a hard schedule, right? And I'm just sorry to say this, dude. I do not see this team being better than your last year team. And if you guys had Michigan's schedule, you guys would be like 11-1 or maybe undefeated, right? But because you guys have such a more difficult schedule, I just think I can only see 10-2, honestly. 11-1, okay, terrific. But I just see 10-2. I don't know if you agree with me on this.
I do. Is there?
Yeah.
But when I look at these things, typically, Burks, I look at them as ceilings and floors. That's one of the reasons why when we did all our Big Ten previews, I asked everybody, what's the basement floor for this team? What's the attic ceiling, right? The basement floor for Ohio State is probably 8-4. There's a alternate universe out there where things don't go well and they could go 8-4, but there's also a chance that everything goes right and they go 12-0. And I think that's kind of like when you recruit the way Ohio State has, when you develop the way they have, when you have people like Caleb Downs, Jeremiah Smith, you have the offensive line that they've developed. That's always kind of like a yearly thing. I think that's why you see Ohio State fans say, yeah, 11-1's realistic. That's kind of the MO of Ryan Day, man. Ryan Day wins 10, 11 games every single year as head coach of Ohio State. Will there be a day he goes 9 or 8 wins in a season? Maybe. But the odds are he's not. He's going to go 10, 11 wins. Maybe he'll have a 12-0 season. I don't know that it's going to be this year, but it's possible, Burks. And that's one thing you can't say about your team in the last 10 years. I mean, just look at last year. What were you guys, 8-5?
Yeah, and I had them going to the playoffs, which is really sad. Because, man, I feel like a fool. But hey, man, this is the Michigan media lying to us. Don't blame me, man.
Well,
they lied to us about the quarterback. There's no quarterback problem. Oh, Sharon Moore really loves his quarterback.
Well,
we should have got transfer portal QB.
You should have, and you didn't, and it got you. It fired you in the butt. But are you willing to trade that in order to guarantee that you get Underwood? And that was kind of like the little story behind the story that no one talked about was you were so bad at quarterback that you pretty much promised Underwood, you come here, you're gonna start year one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Lou, if Ohio State does not make the playoffs, then your recruiting class gets outside the top 10. Man, your fan base is going to be like a mob and kill Ryan Day and Ross. Oh, my God.
Well, yeah, of course they will. You know why? Because we actually hold our team to a high expectation, a high standard.
Exactly.
We hold our school to a higher standard. That's what we do.
That's what I love about Ohio State fans, man. You guys are the funniest fan base and the most aggressive, and that's what I love about it because you guys actually care about football, man. You guys have high expectations, and even with recruiting. And I'll let you know, it's really easy of the way. I wouldn't be surprised more guys might get flipped from Ohio State. They go to a different school in this class. I don't know if it'll happen. I don't think it'll happen, but it's really possible, man. Especially that safety guy who's got his name, but apparently he's on flip alert according to On3. I don't know if that's true or not, but teams are trying to flip him, and he's a 5-star
recruiting
safety.
Is the
and
most,
if he's gone, you only have Chris Henry Jr.
Burks,
left.
Recruiting is the most fickle thing. Recruiting is the most fickle thing there is, dude. In a lot of ways, recruiting is like trying to date a stripper. Good luck.
Yeah.
You're going to be disappointed, I promise you, and you might get a disease or two.
I'm still shocked, man. You guys just won the championship. You guys should have a top 3 class. What the hell is going on? That's what I'm like. I'm like,
NIL
what the
misses,
hell,
dude.
dude?
They made a terrible decision on NIL, bringing it in house, trying to follow these rules that the NCAA laid out for them, and it has burned them. And now they're trying to turn the ship around, and that ship is a mighty big ship. And you don't just flip the switch and get turned around 180 degrees. It takes time, unfortunately, and they've shot themselves in the foot. Now, how fast they can get this recruiting ship turned around, that'll determine whether or not we're able to finish this class with a strong finish or not. If not, then there's your answer. It took longer than what they thought it was going to. But I promise you, this is not going to happen. If this happens again in the 2027 class, yeah, there's going to be major issues at Ohio State. They're going to basically have to go to the portal for everything at that point to make up the difference for these two classes. But it's not like the 2026 class is god awful, Burks. It's still pretty
No, it's
good.
not. No, no. I still like the guys. I like Chris Henry Jr. I like your Greer, the O lineman. He's a 5-star O lineman in my opinion. So it's not like I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm just saying that you guys just won a national championship. So that's where I'm concerned. Like
Burks,
usually
it's all
after you
about the
win,
Benjamins, bro. It's all about the Benjamins. You know this. You seeing it right now, and you're with your own team, man. You guys are spending the money, honey.
Last thing I just want to say is also I'm not gonna lie, man. Your fan base on YouTube, just the YouTube community. You know, like how you have this one side of your fan base who wanted to hammer so badly, and then the other side of the fan base that was like just defending Michigan. They're called, let's just say, that side calls that side fake Buckeyes because they don't want Michigan to get like punishment. They want to care about the present. They don't care about the hammer. I'm just laughing so hard over how those two sides have beef with each other. And I'm just letting you know, it doesn't seem like they're gonna be getting along pretty soon. So
Well,
I'm just
Burks,
laughing too much.
I will take your criticism of my fan base, and I will return it with you with what's more important to your fan base, actually winning on the field or just trolling.
Winning on the field, obviously.
Oh, that's not what my inbox shows. That's definitely not what my inbox shows, buddy.
Yeah, you got me there. But hey, I'm having too much fun right now. I'm in such a good mood. You need to understand that, dude. You need to understand that.
I know you're in a
We
good
got off
mood,
the
but I
hammer,
promise you
and
you're
our
not in
recruiting
as
is
good a
going
mood as
high,
me.
man.
I promise you you're not as good as mood as me. I promise you.
Dude, trust me. You don't understand. This Connor Stalions crap, man, made me go crazy the past 2 years. Now that's over and we didn't get any of it vacated, man. And Savion Hyder, dude, I'm on cloud 9 right now, dude.
All right, Burks. All right, buddy. You can you're past the 10 minutes, man. I appreciate you calling in though, buddy. Have a good night.
Yeah. Take care, man.
All right.
See ya.
Bye-bye. All right. I gave him 1 extra minute there, Coconut. I see you, brother. Yeah. I like talking to Burks though. He's fun. He keeps me on my toes. All right. From Burks to Sean Schrock. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, brother Boggs?
Oh man, it's a beautiful night in the OH. I'm enjoying life. How are you?
Doing good. I want to let everybody know that we have a switch next week. The Buckeye Lounge will be on Wednesday instead of Tuesday.
Yep.
Because our guest Pepe Pearson couldn't come on Tuesday, so we're doing it Wednesday. So let everybody know Pepe will be on our show. And he's very excited to come on, and I've been talking to him. Really good dude, and look forward to talking to him about that '96 season.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's gonna be a great interview. I cannot wait for it. And yeah, so he couldn't come on till Wednesday. Typically, Wednesday is going to be when we run our weekly previews for the games. But since I was able to lock down an interview with Texas early, the Texas Republic, because of that, we're going to switch it. So the Texas Ohio State preview video will run on Tuesday for everybody. The Buckeye Lounge will run on Wednesday, and then the Buckeye Ladies will make their debut on Thursday. And then, of course, the call-in show Monday and Saturday morning. That's the lineup for next week, everybody. So thank you for reminding me that Sean.
Oh, thanks for switching with us. Appreciate it. Just something that happened because I guess they're going to have a game on Friday, and the practice schedule. Pepe's coaching down in Texas, a smaller school, smaller division college.
Is he? Okay.
And the practice schedule got switched since the game's on Friday instead of Saturday.
You know, I don't know if I got to tell you this or not, Sean. Did I tell you that Xander gets to dress varsity tomorrow?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, he does.
Wow.
Yeah. They told
That's
him.
awesome.
They said, "Here's your jersey for varsity," and he's like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, we're moving you up. You get to dress varsity." So he's officially teammates with Favor Key, Ohio State's running back in the 2026 class.
Hey, let's hope it's a blowout and he gets a chance to go in, man. That'd be awesome.
Him and I were talking about that. He goes, "Can you imagine, Eric, if we're blowing them out and I get to go in at the end of the game and I make a tackle?" I was like, "Well, it'd be pretty." I go, "Yeah, it'd be awesome, dude." I go, "But I'm sure there's going to be a lot more than that in your career, buddy." So, yeah, he's pretty pumped up about it. So
just let him know if he gets in there and they put him at quarterback at the end of the game and they tell him to take a knee, tell him to call the audible like Julian did, throw air it out, try to get that touchdown.
Yeah, right. I don't think he'll be. I don't think he'll be playing. No, it's no. He's not going to be playing quarterback. The jersey they handed him was 42. Okay, 42.
Okay, so, he's a back, yeah
linebacker.
Running back,
well,
yeah, got it.
You all know who 42 was at Ohio State, right?
Tell everybody.
Bobby Carpenter. Sarah, my wife, loves Bobby Carpenter. I think this is some kind of sick joke that's happening right now. Is what I think is going on.
Tell him to get 36.
Yeah, there you go. He likes the number 45. Or no, sorry, 54.
Okay.
54. 54 has always been his
54.
number because it was his dad's number when he played and it was his grandpa's number when he played. So he's a third generation linebacker and he wants to keep that going for his dad and his grandpa. So 54 is his number.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, Sean, what do you think about the SEC bowing the knee to the Big Ten and going to 9 games starting next year?
About time.
Yeah.
Give them credit for doing it, that they finally did it. I never thought they would do it, but we asked Uncle Lou and we even asked Kangaroo Black about them. They wanted to go to 9. The fans wanted to go to 9. They're like, it's better football, a better game. Not everybody likes to watch the cupcakes, and pound on cupcakes. So, hey, they get better ball games out of it. So it's a win-win.
Yeah. Do you think that Georgia and Alabama now will cancel their home and homes with Ohio State, or do you think they'll keep them?
I can see where they would cancel them, but like you said, that's a lot of money to give up too.
Well, and if Georgia and Alabama cancel, they're going to have to pay Ohio State to get out of it. Like they'll have to pay Ohio State $1 million or more. Yeah.
Well, they asked Urban Meyer, what would you do nowadays if you were coaching now? He goes, I wouldn't be scheduling any of them tough teams. He goes, my job is to make the playoffs. He goes, I'm not going to schedule a tough team. My job's to win and get in the playoffs.
100%.
He goes, I wouldn't be scheduling. He goes, we used to do that to people were, as a measuring stick, but he goes, there's too much pressure now with to make the playoffs and, people's jobs are on the line. Schedule a team that's, easy schedule. If you get, your conference schedule, that's tough enough.
100%.
I get where he's coming from.
I do as well. But and here's the thing, Sean. And back when we were in school, they used to say in college, pay your fees and get your B's, right? Now it's get to 10
Yep.
and you're in. All you got to do is get to 10 and you're in. So that's the new calling card in college football, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't matter what those 10
I
are.
definitely.
That those 10 could be against the YMCA, Little Sisters of the Poor, your mom's hairdressing
Yep.
team. It doesn't matter. 10 and you're in.
Go play Oberlin. Gotta.
Oberlin, Ohio
Gotta be careful
Wesleyan,
not
Kenyon
to
College. Let's do it. Let's go.
Wittenberg. Old Dominion. Tiffin University. Let's do that.
Apparently in
Hey,
the,
be
in the
careful not to.
Sean, apparently in the chat,
Be
they're saying if we get to 400 views on X that Boggsy's going streaking tonight. I can promise you that will not happen. No one wants to see that.
Oh man, I
We're
was
at,
taking pictures that Simpsons were Ralph running naked down the road.
the only thing I can
Wow.
think of, what's that movie with Will Ferrell when they go back to college or whatever it is?
Old school.
Old school.
Old school.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Frank the Tank.
Yeah.
Hey, I gotta ask you, if you're gonna be Boss Hog, does that make Wildman Roscoe?
Roscoe Pico train.
Lacey can be Daisy Duke.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. This is terrible.
Shout out to Lacey, the Buckeye babe. And major props to Vader, man. What a great call. And hey, what you were saying about him, man, I definitely want to give a shout out to him and just let everybody know he helps us, me and GG, out so much. He does so much work. People don't understand all the research he does, and he does these awesome show notes for us, emails them to us. I mean, he comes up with questions that we don't even think about asking, and he finds all kinds of cool facts about our guests. He really puts the work in, and he's just an outstanding dude and just a great guy. He doesn't want any glory at all, and he just wants to be part of the team, and that's what I love about him. And he's just as important as me and TG are on our show, and I want everybody to know that there's three of us on that show, and he might be the producer behind the scenes, but he helps make it go, man. If it wasn't for him, we would have never got Cornelius Green on our show. That was one of my favorite interviews I've ever done, so a lot of props to the guy.
Yeah, it's been wonderful since you and TG joined us and watch you guys grow, your show grow. You guys are just destroying it with guests. I think you said the other night, Sean, we're becoming the channel that schedules and interviews former Buckeyes, and it's definitely getting a reputation for that, and I love that. And we've got great characters. Everybody's got a little different flavor and flair that they bring to the channel, and I love the community that we're building. It's awesome.
I do too. It's like one big family, and I love it. And I've been reaching out to a lot of these former players, and I've got probably about 8 of them, guys. Just to let everybody know, 8 on the back burner that want to come on the show. And I just let these guys know that we're giving them a platform for those guys to tell their stories. We want to educate the younger fans that might not know these guys, might not get to see them play. We want to tell the story of Ohio State, the history of Ohio State football, and how important it was, and for all the guys that came before that laid the groundwork. That's the foundation of what the dynasty is now. Them guys deserve, some love and some credit too, and their stories need to be told. So I'm happy that we give them a platform, and you've given me and TG the opportunity to be able to bring these guys on and tell their stories.
Yeah,
it's been fun.
It has. I love listening to them. I don't always get to watch them live because of everything else that I'm doing in the evenings with college huddle and interviews and other things. And so, but I always get to listen to them on the back end. And the other thing I do, and I really want to recommend everybody else does it too, if you don't get a chance to watch it live, you could always listen to it. We always have whatever, if the Sunday night show, the Buckeye Lounge, soon to be the previews, as well as the Buckeye Ladies. All of it will be available for you to download on audio for podcasting. So wherever you download your podcast, look us up, the OHIO podcast. Find us, give us a 5-star review. Make sure you subscribe to us there. And if you miss a show on YouTube and you can't catch us on YouTube, listen to us, okay? Believe it or not, the last 6 months, Sean, our audio numbers have been higher than they've ever been before. So we are growing.
Awesome.
We're
That's
growing on
awesome.
the audio podcast side too. So appreciate everybody. Shout out to everybody who listens to us there as well.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate it. I mean, we love all you guys. And hey, any ideas that you guys got, throw them out towards us, man. If there's people you want to see us try to get, I mean, I get it. Everybody's gonna want us to get, Chris Spielman and Eddie George and JJ Smith. And trust me, guys, we try to. But if there's, you got any ideas for shows, I mean, it doesn't hurt to throw us out some ideas. I mean, you never know what can happen. I mean, we're willing to take suggestions and ideas. And I tell you, I never thought that I'd ever get to interview Robert Smith and Keith Byers in my life. I have to pinch myself that I got to have those two guys on the show. Just unbelievable. And to get a chance to interview Cornelius Green, and what a historic guy he is, man. What a gentleman, what a class act. What he had to go through being the first black quarterback in Ohio State history. I mean, the stories he told us, it was just awesome. And I'm glad because of you and Chris that me and TG got the opportunity to do that. And because of Buck Vader too, introducing us to him. So thank you, man.
Oh, you're welcome, brother.
Really a lot.
No, you just you be you, dude. That's what I like about you guys. I let it try to everybody just be themselves and fulfill what dreams and aspirations they have within this community and on the platform. And you guys are doing great, and I'd love to see your growth. And that's what it's all about, brother. I appreciate it, man. Anything else on your way out? We got
Hey,
one more phone call to get to.
well, quick about the Texas game. I think early on, some games might be a little tighter. We might have to win more with defense and offense, and solid running game, good defense, good special teams. Might take us a couple weeks to get the offense going. So I just don't want everybody to freak out if the scores are a little tighter than usual at the beginning of the year. Let's give the new play caller, new quarterback a little bit of a chance, because like you said, it might be a little clunky like it was when DJ took over his first year. It took him a couple games to get it going, and I think I don't want it to be that way, but it might be that way to start out with. But thank God we'll have a great defense and probably the best offensive line in college football.
I think I agree with all of that. So we're on the same page, brother. All right, man. Have a good night. I know you always get up early for work, so get some sleep, brother. Have a good night. OH.
You too. IO. Go Bucks. Dumb still sucks.
All right, guys. Our last phone call tonight. I am going to be. If you're tired, she'll wake you up. I promise you. This is going to be interesting. I know she's got a lot to talk about. TG, we're going from your co-host to you, and welcome. You're the last caller of the night, girl.
Oh, thanks. So let me just start with the SEC 9 games. I think that's great. We finally get an even Steven playing field between the SEC and the Big Ten. No more of this softened schedule that y'all got. Now you really have to play on the level playing field. Now, I know for others, people talked about whether or not, does this mean we're not going to get the tougher games like we wanted? I think we are, just because if you haven't heard, the College Football Playoff Committee is now basing your rankings and whether or not you make it into the College Football Playoff based on your strength of schedule. they're doing that now. Like now, you can't just play cupcakes because if you're playing cupcakes, you better not lose a game because that's going to hurt you a lot worse than winning games against cupcakes. So you got to be undefeated for the most part if you're playing a terrible schedule. Because if you lose one game to a cream puff, it's going to hurt you bad. It really is. It's going to hurt you.
There's one flaw about the strength of schedule, though, TG, and I wonder if you've thought about this.
Oh, no, I know there is. I'm just saying that that's what they're doing now. I know the one flaw. Do I like the fact they're doing it based off strength of schedule? Not really, because I actually do like the fact you want to do it based on strength of schedule, but the fatal flaw with the strength of schedule is it's mostly SEC based, which is BS. And I don't know how are you gonna determine who has the better strength of schedule will be my question.
Well, if it's based off of rankings, right, then all you do is you throw a bunch of teams in from your conference high up in those rankings, and you say, yeah, but look, it was so hard. I mean, look at how many SEC teams we had to play.
That's what the issue is, though. Because you know how many people overrate the heck out of the SEC. I mean, because you actually got more teams ranked in the top, ranked in the top 25 than the Big Ten, which I think is BS because you should have more Big Ten teams in there than you do SEC teams. And I think that's just stupid on so many accounts. Like, to me, you need to have a full-on way to track strength of schedule. Basically, you have to, I would say, wait till the end of the regular season would be my opinion. Because, and I say this for this reason, you need to have one committee, I guess you could say, that analyzes strength of schedule throughout the year, that looks at the rankings, not just the preseason, but the rankings throughout the entire season, how it changes, who's good, who's not, and just kind of weigh it out from there, where it's not just specifically single on one like ESPN, which we all know how biased they are, Athlon Sports and all these other places. Like, you need one place where you can draw the strength of schedule and that you actually can have it be where it's not just focused on this one particular, because the thing is with these rankings from these other teams is a star strength schedule. It never changes throughout the season. It never does. It never does. So it never changes.
There's one way to fix this, TG.
It never really does that. So to me, that's what you would have to do is you have to count how much it changes. You have to, it's based on who they're playing, how good this team is, and not just based on rankings, but just based off other things too. I can't quite name it fully. I can't quite get the word out of my mouth, but there's other ways to determine strength of schedule than even just the rankings alone. But I'm just saying, if you're going to do that, it has to be via one committee, like one little organization or so that looks at the strength of schedules and can rank it based on multiple. And I would say wait till the end of the season to do that, just so you can have a full-on data point as far as who had a better strength of schedule.
There's one way to fix all of this. You have to play your way into the playoffs, just like the NFL. You got to win your division, right?
Yeah, you would have to win. Like you would, especially because what's super funny is I think this affects Notre Dame. It's bad, like probably worse than most, only just because it's like how their schedule is. They'll have like one or two tough games at the utmost, and then the rest of their schedule is a bunch of G5 cream puffs. So it's like, you lose one game to a G5 cream puff like you've been doing for the past, how long have they been doing this now?
Like 4 years they've lost to a G5 school almost every year. They even did last year. They lost to Northern Illinois.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm talking about. It's actually going to hurt them a lot worse because your schedule is so trash. The only thing that could help them is if they win one of their if they win a big time game against a big time opponent. Like if they do that, it might just help them.
Yeah, they got A&M and they got Miami, then A&M 1-2 on their schedule. What they need is they need to win.
Well,
they need to win one of those games, and they need both of those teams to be really good this year.
Yeah, that's what they're going to need. Is A&M? I could see a chance because last year they actually finished with a pretty solid record. What were they, like 83, 84?
Say that again.
And like Miami, I know I said Texas A&M was like what 8-3, 8-4 last year, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they were like 8-4, 9-3 or 8-4.
And they were
let
a
me look it
top
up.
4 team. I believe they were a top 5 team in the SEC last year. So it was like, you know, I could see them potentially doing that again, but we would have to see. And Miami, I'm not so sure about. I'm not sure about Miami. I'm not so sure.
Let's see here.
Like, I could see a world where they're good, but I could also see a world where they just turn out to be just in the middle, like middle class.
Mm-hmm. Well, A&M
So
lost
I'm not
three of
sure,
their
but they're gonna have
A&M
to win those
lost
games.
3 of their last 4 regular season games. They lost to South Carolina, Auburn, and Texas. They lost to Notre Dame, so that's 4. So they were 8-4.
Okay, so the worst loss is the Auburn one because that is the worst team out of the ones they played that they lost to. That is the worst loss. South Carolina, I can understand because South Carolina was a really good team, and that defense, oh my God, was so good. Bama, they were solid last year. They weren't great, but they were actually pretty good. So I can actually see where, again, Auburn, the worst loss they've had. Again, Miami, it was great, but I'm not so again, Miami, I'm not so sure about. I'm never going to be sure about them. I got to see them for myself.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know. Miami's one of those teams where they keep talking about, hey, we're back, but then they never are. So I don't know. But I wouldn't mind seeing Miami really good because I think when Miami's good, it kind of makes college football good because it's a good bad guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I would love to see them be good, but it's like, I just question it because we hear it so often and it's like, okay, when are they going to be back? So it's like, you know,
yeah,
I'm not so sure about Miami. We're just going to have to wait and see with them because I'm not going to lie. They are just one of the most overhyped teams. But I'm just happy that we're finally going to get to see the SEC versus the Big Ten, and we're going to see even Steven playing field. I'm actually happy about that. And like Sean said, Kangaroo Black and them, they've been wanting this, like a straight up, just, you know, nice game and tougher schedule because they don't like these Supreme Cup games. They don't.
So do you think,
even though they understand the great value of it, but it's like at the end of the day, it's like you want to see better matchups.
do you think Georgia or Alabama will cancel with Ohio State now?
I'm not sure. I don't know. That, like, I can see a world where they do, mainly because obviously they're going to use the SEC schedule as like a tough, but I can also see a world where they keep it just because, hey, you know, it's a tough schedule and we're going to be judged by that. So there's a chance they still get in over, like, say, like, for instance, Alabama went, 9-3 last year? So they would, if you apply that same logic to what they're doing now with the strength of schedule to what they did last year, I think they would have got in over. They would have got in. It's either them, South Carolina. One of them two teams would have got in over 11-1 Indiana, just because Indiana's schedule was so bad, and they lost to the I guess Ohio State was like ranked like the number 1, or like they were ranked as a top 3 team, but because that was the one loss you had, and it was against a good team, it's like, you know, it's not going to hurt you as bad as you losing to a bad team, but it depends on how you play against that team. And given how Indiana played in that game, I can see a world would actually hurt them.
Yeah, Indiana never got blown out last year in their 2 losses. They lost to Ohio State. They lost to Notre Dame. They didn't get blown out. That Notre Dame
game didn't get blown out, but it's like, but if you actually watch the games, which I think a lot of them did, which I do believe these teams do that. How did you play in that game? Because like, even though Ohio State, and let's be real, I know this for a fact, Ohio State could have like 2015, for example. Like, we lose that one game to Michigan State. For granted, this is the most great. Even though they went to the Final Four, it wasn't the best version of their team. But it's like, for Ohio State, if you lose that game and you lose it in the most embarrassing fashion, let alone obviously this happened because you missed the playoffs. Like, I think it just depends on where you are in the season, especially.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see a world where Alabama and them could keep that game just because it's like it helps bolster their you know, their resume for college football playoffs.
Who do you think would have won last year between Tennessee and Indiana?
Who do I think I would have won? Geez, that is tough. I am not sure because with Tennessee, their offensive line was clearly a problem. It wasn't good, and I think Indiana had a solid defensive line. But then again, the other problem with Indiana is they had so many issues of their own that they needed to work out. I'm not sure who would have won, but if I had to pick, I probably would pick Tennessee. But there's a chance Indiana beats them. So.
Huh. Yeah, I think Indiana might have beat them.
It's not me being disrespectful to Indiana. It's just
No.
me. I'm just saying, like,
TG, be as disrespectful be just as disrespectful for Indiana as you want to be. I can't stand their fans, dude. They're almost as bad as Michigan fans. They're terrible.
No, here's the funny thing. I get it too, because it's like because here's the funny thing. I can understand if you're Indiana fans, you have been so bad for so long, and you're just super happy to finally have a good team. Finally, we got a good team. Finally, we can actually be a part of this. Finally, we can actually do something. I can understand that part, where it's just them being happy that they finally got a freaking good team. But I will tell them that you might want to slow your roll and don't think that you have like a team that's gonna just all of a sudden become this great, like just juggernaut. Like if Cincinnati keeps up what he's gonna do with Indiana, I'm not gonna be mad at it. If anything, I'm gonna be happy about it. And more importantly, Indiana would be a second-tier team. They would actually be a team we would have to take seriously. So if Cincinnati could keep that up, I wouldn't mind it, to be honest. I would like it for Indiana, to be honest.
Well,
because it would be actually a fun game to play them. So I honestly don't mind it.
All Indiana has done is replace Purdue. Purdue was Indiana. And now Purdue is Indiana, and Indiana is Purdue. I mean, they flip-flop. That's all that's happened. Like, but what's hilarious is their fan base, dude.
I know what you mean. It's just like, but it's like for once for Indiana, you finally got a good coach. Like Purdue, if they get the coaching thing right, I think they actually could get a shot. But we'll have to see with them. We really would have to see. But yeah, no. If Cincinnati keeps this up and he can keep them in the mid tier for the next, let's see here, he's 63, so he can keep them in the mid tier for the next 10 years. I want to say. I actually think that would be great. And for Indiana to get built up like that and maybe be able to finally sustain something and be successful, I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, I'm going to lean more towards Purdue than I am Indiana because of my friendship with
because
Dylan
of their fan base. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Hey, look, I get it. Their fan base is annoying right now, but like I said, when you've been losing for as long as they have, I mean, I still take the Indiana fans over some fans because I don't think they're as ignorant as them. So I still do that. But
they have
I just want Indiana. I would love nothing more for Indiana to just be good to make the games fun. I mean, the two times that we did play them when they were good, they were actually a problem. And it was like, 2019, 2020 were the last time they were good?
Well, they were good when Kevin Wilson was there. Kevin Wilson took them to some bowl games.
2015. I remember 2015, and he was the coach there. He happened to be a really good team.
Yeah, but to your point, and this will be the last thing I say about the Hoosiers. That fan base has showed zero humility. After being the doorstep to this conference for the better part of 100+ years, to finally have a good team that did something and then act like you've been here the whole time is ridiculous to me. Like, dude, show some humility. That's all I'm saying.
To remind you of a certain program up north that just acts like that and still acting like that now.
So what you're saying is everything Burks is saying about how he would love to see Curt Cignetti at the University of Scum is on par for the course. So in character.
I mean, if you ask me, Curt Cignetti is a far better, far more competent coach than Sherrone Moore. Sherrone Moore's an
idiot. We'll see how it goes this year. Hey, TG, tell everybody about the new show.
Oh, yeah, myself and Mika.
Yeah.
And Vader, we're also on the Buckeye Ladies. We're going to have a great, great time on there. I'm telling you guys, you're going to want to watch it. We're going to have a great topic put up. We're going to be working with Vader. And it's going to be super fun talking to Mika because me and her have done the show before back when we were on the Buckeye Boys. It was super fun talking to him. It's going to be really fun for us talking now because you're going to see the two of us talk nothing but football. Unlike a certain college football, unlike a certain lady show for another team, you're actually going to have women that know what they're talking about.
Well, these girls know ball. There's no doubt about that, and they're both really cool people. I've loved working with TG. Mika is my good buddy, and I'm glad that you guys are going to be out there doing this, man. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait
Yeah,
to can't
it's
wait
going to
for
be
it.
great. And let me say this to you, Eric, because when you ask Burks where Michigan has been for like the last 20 years, I have brought this up on so many occasions. They have been irrelevant for 80 years. like, let's be honest, they were not doing nothing. After 1948, they were nothing. They were irrelevant. They were just a team where the only relevancy you had was pretty much the rivalry game. Without the game, you're basically just another version of Texas and a worse version of Nebraska, if we're being honest.
Yeah, they've I mean, one shared national championship in my lifetime until they cheated to get the other one. All right, Mika. Or sorry,
Yeah,
Mika. I called Mika TG.
yeah, and let me say this. One more thing I'll say. It's
Okay.
about the Texas game. I think it's going to be a fun game. Like everything, and I'm going to address Ray on this. The reason why Arch Manning gets made fun of is because of how overhyped he is. I believe the kid is going to be great. But in week one, I think the kid is going to make a ton of mistakes. Just like I think Saban's going to make some mistakes, but not as many as Arch, in my opinion. I think both are going to make mistakes, but I think he's going to make a lot of mistakes, mainly because it's going to be his first time playing up against a team that's actually good. Like, yes, last year he started against a bunch of creep-ups. You're actually playing against a national title contending team. I'm not saying they're going to win the national title, but they're a contending team for the national title. That's never going to change for Ohio State, in my opinion. Contending for a national championship, that's what you're going against. I think it's going to be a slobber knocker. And if I had to predict, I would say Buckeyes 30, Texas 24, just because I think our defense is going to do well because Texas's O-line, from everything I've heard, has been just about average. Their offensive line hasn't been great. So I think we have a good chance. Again, I think by week 8, they'll be better than what they were in week 1. No doubt about it. I think both teams by that point will be better. But I think week 1, I think Ohio State is going to win that game. I do. I think they're going to get pressure. I think they're going to get on Arch Manning. I think he's going to make a lot of mistakes. And I think Ryan Day and them are going to game plan around how to make sure Saban can get comfortable. I think they're going to run the ball and pass when they need to. I think they have a great game plan.
I'm laughing at the chat. They're hilarious. TG, I agree with you. It's going to be a lot of fun. Next week when we do our predictions, I'll email all of you so you all can give me your score predictions so we'll get it on the show for everybody. We always do a score prediction with everybody from the OHIO podcast, so we'll try to get as many of you on that as possible. It'll be fun to have you.
That's going to be great.
Yeah, it'd be fun to have you part of that.
And Burks, listen, you're on cloud 9 right now. Burks, let me tell you something right now. I don't care how many recruits you get, because the reality is, until you can show me evidence of buying recruits actually leads to winning, I don't ever want to hear anything about it. I really don't want to hear about it anymore. I'm kind of tired of that whole logic. Like, you can buy an entire recruiting class. You could be like Texas A&M. You're going to be like Texas A&M, in my opinion. And every other team that's ever done that. I'm just sorry to tell people. And I think Michigan's still going to be the same team they've been the past 80 years, which is just a mid-tier level team. I don't expect anything out of this team for the next, 20, 30 years. I think your players are going to suck because you got terrible coaching. I think the team's just going to remain the same as what they always been. A team that's going to be in the middle tier, and every once in a while will have a 10-game winning season. Every once in a while.
Unless they know the other team's plays.
Yeah, unless they do that. Unless they're hacking columns.
Oh, no kidding. All right, TG. I gotta go to bed soon. Thanks for calling in, girl. Have a good night.
Yeah. You too. I.O.
Oh, she's the best. All right, guys. That's it for tonight, everybody. I'm super tired. I need to go to bed. I gotta go to work tomorrow. I got a long day. My stepson gets to run out of the tunnel here at Delaware Hayes for the first time as a freshman, but he's on varsity, gets dressed varsity tomorrow. So big day for him and his mom and his dad. So going to be there to support all of them. Great show, everybody. Great phone calls tonight, guys. I think we ended up with somewhere around, I think we did 12 or 13 phone calls tonight. So great phone calls, great chat tonight. Appreciate all of you. So we'll be back Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern. Our prediction show, crazy prediction show. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're not going to want to miss that this upcoming Sunday night at 8 o'clock. And then the Monday night call-in show. I'll be doing the Monday night call-in show at 8 o'clock. There'll be the Big Texas preview will be Tuesday night. Wednesday night will be the Buckeye Lounge. Thursday night will be the debut of the Buckeye Ladies. Saturday morning will be the debut of the Saturday morning call-in show at 10 a.m. And then at 12 noon, Corey will be the voice of Ohio State. Corey and Chris and I think Lisa will be live watching. You can join them in the chat and you can watch Ohio State with them. They're going to be doing the game live watch. All of that next week. It's finally here. Game week will come Sunday night. Week 0 is this week. So we do have college football this weekend for the first time. Have a good night, everybody. Be kind. Oh, and I will be playing on my way out. We will play the theme song for one Caden, the man, the Diesel Freak, Dan the Diesel Freak. He liked his theme song. It's hard. Just letting of you all know it's the style he wanted. So Caden's theme song will be playing on our way out. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a great Friday and a better weekend. Remember, be kind to one another. I owe someone's OH in Carmen, Ohio with all your heart. Till next time, you all know what to do. Go Bucks.
Hear Buckeyes in my head. They scream with me, they understand. Carcass. You got your maize and your blue, all designed to hide your shame. But when Michigan hits Columbus, we drag you straight through flames. I got a voice that's in my head, hates the dogs and loves your pain. I got a voice that calls it clearly, Notre Dame's are crying shame. I hear Wolverines crying, I see Longhorns dying. I taste the hype they're buying, I feel the tension rising. I hear Buckeyes in my head. They scream with me they understand. They talk to me, carcass. They tell me teams that I will wreck. They show me dreams I'll snap in half. They talk to me, they talk to me, they talk to me. They talk to me. All the bulldogs are defenseless, and the domers are diseased. Those burnt orange horns are useless. They'll get dropped right to their knees. All you Wolverines are guilty. All your banners are a lie. Notre Dame, your luck is empty. Texas dreams are gonna die. I see darkness falling. I hear voices calling. The shoe is always brawling, and Big Ten champs are ballin'. I hear Buckeyes in my head. They scream with me. They understand. They talk to me, carcass. They tell me dogs we're gonna maul. They show me horns we're gonna fall. They talk to me, they talk to me, they talk to me.